This is incredible. It's great to be back here. I don't have the bulletproof vest on. I'm just wearing the cross today, so hopefully that protects me. Because we tend to make a lot of enemies telling the truth, don't we? You can tell a man's virtues by his enemies and his vices by his friends. Thank you, Charlie Kirk, for having me. I got a lot to get through in 20 minutes. Thank you, everyone. This is incredible. One of the largest crowds I've ever seen. It's my 10th year at Turning Point. And I'm going to tell you about Jeffrey Epstein. So, some news last night as I was flying in. I saw the news regarding Dan Bongino resigning from the FBI. I saw the collision between Pam Bondi, Bongino, Kash Patel, stuff happening. I want to tell you a little story, take you behind the scenes, take you undercover as we try to ascertain what's really going on. They always, why do they always tell the truth only in private? Why do they not say the quiet part publicly? But maybe they say it privately. Let me take you back to the month of April. This is April 28th in a restaurant in Washington, D.C. This is the Attorney General of the United States talking to someone. They recorded it, sent it to us, talking about tens of thousands of videos.
Epstein files are going to get released?
We hope soon. The FBI's been.
Okay.
So.
Any dates?
No, you know what it is? There are tens and thousands of videos.
Yeah.
And it's all with little kids. So they have to go through every one.
Now, we sent the Attorney General an email requesting comment. This is on May the 1st, a couple days after the 28th. We quoted what she had said, tens of thousands of videos of little kids, not something that's been reported publicly. After we sent the email, suddenly we saw this at the White House.
James Comer said yesterday that all the Epstein files are missing. Confirm the status of them. They still haven't heard from you.
No, the FBI, the FBI, they're reviewing, there are tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child porn.
It seemed to mirror quite identically what we had captured just 9 days prior.
Tens and thousands of videos.
Yeah.
And it's all with little kids. There are tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child porn.
Something didn't seem to add up. It raised questions. The questions for me and my team was, and this is not an easy story for us to publish, is why share that with someone at a restaurant but not share it with the American people first? We also saw this on Joe Rogan.
No, we're giving you everything we have.
And is there video from the island?
Not of what you want.
But is there footage?
If there was footage of anyone doing anything else, we would have opened a case.
There are tens and thousands of videos.
Yeah.
And it's all with little kids.
Something doesn't seem to be adding up. Now, the Department of Justice issued this statement, which you probably all saw this week. There's no client list. There's no evidence of any blackmail. And there's no evidence that could predicate an investigation against anybody else. There's no story. There's no evidence. Now, listen, as a reporter, as a journalist, I can always tell you, there's always a story. It's just a question of to what degree. But to see the government tell us there's no story, it just doesn't seem to add up. And I'm a little biased on this issue because I myself, my team, as you know, have been raided by the FBI. Granted, it was the previous administration that did this. You're looking at a search warrant. The FBI taking battering rams to our doors a couple years ago.
I'm sorry, so what is this regarding? This is the search warrant. Just open up.
Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. They go after teachers, they go after mothers, they go after journalists in the United States of America under the flimsiest of pretenses, often a pretext, often a false pretense, and they lie about it. They ruffle through our notes, they go through, and by the way, the previous Attorney General expressly forbid this. Even the liberal news media was against it at the time that it happened, but this administration did get around to releasing the affidavit, the probable cause. The case is now closed. In my case, they closed the case and they had to release what's called an affidavit. That is the justification for the search warrant, the probable cause. Thankfully, hopefully, we'll now see who lied to the FBI. We'll see the transparency. We'll get the accountability. But when they released this affidavit, this probable cause, they redacted every single word. You are looking at the justification for the raid of my newsroom. The Department of Justice right now could wave their magic wand and show you what's behind these black lines. Does the public right to know outweigh whatever marginal concern the FBI has to protect their confidential informants? And by the way, it's a crime to lie to the FBI. This is over the Biden diary stuff. Did actually Biden lie to the FBI? If you or I lied to the FBI, we'd be in trouble. In fact, the only thing that wasn't redacted on this document was a footnote that said, based upon my training and experience, I have learned, this is an FBI agent talking, that cell phones are capable of sending emails. This is just bizarre. Even the ACLU protested this. This is another liberal organization defending me in federal court. This is just bananas. What does it mean to be liberal anymore? What does it mean to be conservative anymore? I consider myself a constitutionalist. I believe in the First Amendment, I believe in the Fourth Amendment, and I believe in the public's right to know. So let's go back to this. Department of Justice statement this week. Much of the material is subject to sealing. We need to protect victims. Well, I'm all about protecting victims, and I don't believe we should publish any child pornography. But this did not expose any additional third parties to allegations of illegal wrongdoing. By show of hands, how many of you think that's a lie? 100% of you. I mean, this is crazy. So, I'm announcing, and I have announced previously, but I'm going to release some new information here on stage with you today. It's time to take matters into our own hands. If we can't get transparency, then we need to be the change that we seek. We need to have people come to us, sources on the inside, brave people, often speaking out of turn, and we released images. These were images given to us by people in the government, people who don't trust the government. First, we got some images inside the Epstein temple, never before seen. Very strange stuff, including something on the ceiling. We were trying to decipher what that was. Then we got images inside his library, including on his blackboard. I presume the FBI has all this. Strange things, power, deception, various words. A lot of people online trying to decipher or crack the code. We even got images inside his bedroom. Next to his bed table, there was a phone. On the phone, there was a series of names. Karina, Darren, Rich, Mike. I wonder if any of these people know what happened with all this child stuff that happened. We even were able to find out the names of these people by doing some research. His last girlfriend, his advisor, his lawyer. You're trying to tell me that none of these people had any knowledge about any illegal activity? But I think it's time for us to just hear directly from FBI agents. What do you guys think? You know, I have an idea. What if we launched something called FBI Leaks? How about that? How about we release audio and video? Listen, you know, whether they come to me on the record or off the record, they tend to be more honest off the record, so perhaps we need to publish what they're saying off the record. We have to do that. And in our first video, released right now online, we're going to release the Deputy National Intelligence Officer of the FBI, whose name is Rami Hassan, and he's talking about the Epstein case, and he says, I'm with the FBI, quote, it's a shit show. And this is, I'm just going to play a little clip. You can find the rest of it online.
I'm with FBI. This is a shit show.
Small coincidence, but
I'm with FBI.
He also talks about that you can kind of see where law enforcement kind of either turned a blind eye or missed things. This man is a director, and he's saying law enforcement turned a blind eye. The question is, what did they turn a blind eye to? And I'm calling on everyone on the inside with knowledge of the situation to come out, to tell the truth, because we, the American people, have a right to know.